Well, hello and good morning. Good Saturday morning from Nairobi. Happy new month to all of you. It's Saturday, the 1st of May today. And my name is Benjamin Kamoye. I'm excited to be coming to you live this morning and sharing with you some ideas on really how to become the pattern maker. How do you become the pattern maker? And even as we just get started here, very shortly, just waiting for you others who are running to join us here. We have a few minutes before we get started. Just wanted to appreciate all of you that have reached out, with questions about your leadership journey, your reinvention journey, desiring to grow yourself and from the lesson like we did last week. The comments were overwhelming, and I really do just appreciate all of you. I do appreciate all of you for the amazing content. Communication and just interaction. It was just blowing up. We couldn't keep up with it at some point. Thank you so much. All right. Reinvention Saturdays purely are about adding value to you. This is about adding value to you. Just recently I felt very strongly convicted to really just begin to come alongside you and other leaders to really just help you in your growth journey. I got help to be where I am today. People, made the way for me. They created space for me, and that's how I got to where I am today. And I just felt that even while my schedule is getting busy, one of the things that I could do is I could, purpose to be here for 30 minutes every Saturday. And so Reinvention Saturdays is here every Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. East African time until when I hear to stop. And so I'm not going to stop until I'm told to stop. So I'll keep going on and adding value to you, bringing different topics. Specifically, the month of May is lined up with great teaching and lessons, and our desire for us to get even more engaging and get to the point where we begin to really have Q&A. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are and what your questions are. To clear my throat here. All right, on. Thank you. I think we are at the top of the hour. This is the time that we need to get started. 9:30 a.m. East African time. Hello, good morning, wherever you're joining me from. Good Saturday morning. Happy new month. It's May, and today is Labor Day globally, celebrating all the workers all over the world, the people who make things happen. I celebrate you, and excited to really today be talking about becoming the pattern maker. Those of you who are joining us, welcome. Remember, Reinvention Saturdays is all about you. It's adding value to you, and it's about you reinventing yourself and becoming better. This is my goal here. If you can take out an idea, just an idea that creates an aha and causes forward movement in your life, forward motion in your life, this was worth it. And that's why I do it. You are your most appreciable asset. And my role is to come alongside you and add value to you, because I know, as I've seen with myself, if you add value to yourself, you keep 100% of the returns and the benefits. And that's my role here, to add value to you. So let's get into it right away. Becoming the pattern maker. I desire for you, as you come out of today's session, that you are going to master several things. The first one is this, is to understand the fundamental mindset and skill set that pattern makers have. To understand the fundamental skill set and mindset that pattern makers have. To understand who a pattern maker is and how you also are a pattern maker in many ways. Those are the two things that I want you to come out of this session today with. Who is a pattern maker? What are the fundamental mindset and skill sets of a pattern maker? Now, I must say very quickly that because of the time that we have, I did not go into the entire list of the mindsets and the skill sets of a pattern maker. What I did is I took the top 2 skill sets and mindsets of pattern makers. There's a lot that goes into this, but I just picked 2 because of the time that we have together. It's a 30-minute session, and I want to honor your time by finishing on time and not feeling like I need to run through because I have 16 of them. I want to cover these 2 mindsets and 2 skill sets deeply. So let's get into it. Becoming the pattern maker, the fundamentals of dominating your industry and actually your world, really. So let's begin with the definition. Who is a pattern maker? A pattern maker is a person or an idea that creates, modifies, introduces, conceives ideas that influence or shift trends or the course of history. A pattern maker is either a person or an idea. A person or an idea. Okay? And what is in this idea is that there is a creation, there's a modification, there is an introduction or a conception of some idea that influences, shifts, or trends, or generally the course of history. Those are pattern makers. If you look at the world, you will see patterns that have altered the course of history, ideas that have shifted industry, that have changed the way we do business. Those are pattern makers. Now, patterns are created by people, but sometimes patterns are also just ideas that just, we don't know kind of where they emerge from. They just pop and, they're out there in the world and you can see the waves are happening. Those are patterns. But today we are concerned with a pattern maker, like a person, somebody who is the creator of a pattern. And just to share some characteristics about, pattern makers, they cause disruption. They cause disruptions. In the industry, they just turn it upside down. They enhance what was, or they completely replace it. They enhance what was, or they completely replace it. And lastly, they do not ask for permission and they do not make apologies. That's one of the things that you will see about pattern makers. And in this context, we're really looking at people. These are people. These are brains. These are brilliant men and women who cause disruption. Their ideas modify, introduce, shift patterns of the world and cause disruption. They take what was and enhance it, or just completely replace it, and they don't ask for permission and do not make apologies. Now, before we go so much into some examples, let's pause here for a minute. What is your opportunity? What is my opportunity? What is your opportunity in the world right now? And it's this. There is a new race. Oh my goodness, I love that. There is a new race, and this new race is about to be run. I don't know whether you've seen that, but there is a new race. And the rules of this race have changed because we live where? Because we lived in a changed and changing world. Yeah? It's true. Let that sink in there. Your opportunity, my opportunity, is that there is a new race. The world is changing. The world has been changing, but it's now at a faster pace. And it is favoring anyone. It is favoring anyone who has the 2 mindsets and the 2 skill sets that I'm just about to share with you. And that is what is required for you to become a pattern maker. When you look at the world right now with COVID, from 2020 to today, the world has changed much faster than the technology as we knew it as the disruptor, as the cause of rapid change. Technology was right there, number one at the top of the list as the cause of acceleration. Rapid change. Technology was there. It doesn't mean that it's not there, but what COVID came and did was just, technology just looked like the snail as far as disruption is concerned. COVID came in and technology just looked like you don't cause any change, because the world has changed. I don't want to go into the details, but man, it has changed in so many ways. While we're here thinking about the new normal, the world is changing. And that is the opportunity for you and for me. In the Great Depression, so many millionaires and billionaires were created. And in this COVID pandemic, so many opportunities to become anything that you want to be have emerged. I did a video recently that talked about the enlarging global pie. You see, most of us in our businesses, in our careers, maybe because of the downsizing that COVID has brought, companies are not able to carry the weight as they would. Business has shifted. Profits are dwindling. They've had to cut down people. Businesses have had to close. There is no more in-person interaction, and therefore we can't meet, so we can't do business, and therefore we can't make money. And so that looks like a shrinking local pie. It is for shrinking. I've worked with different clients in the hospitality industry, ourselves even as trainers. We're not doing in-person sessions anymore. We're not doing conferences and workshops with 600, 800 people in the room. No. We're relegated to 20 and 30 as much as the law says. And so if you look at it, it's like there's a shrinking local pie. But tell you what, my friend, there is an enlarging global pie. And that is just a little bit of it as far as the enlarging pie is concerned. And so this new race favors people that have got new ideas, favors people that have got new, inventions, favors people that have got new books. You will see new books, you will see new businesses, you will see new innovations, new. Civilization as we have known it has been flipped. And while everybody's looking up and saying, oh my goodness, when is the new normal coming? The pattern makers are in the lab, ready to change civilization. That is our opportunity. There is a new race. Believe it, I'm telling you. Or don't believe it. Be curious and investigate for yourself. I can give you that. That's okay. Don't believe it, just investigate it. There is a new race. A new race is about to be run. The playing field has been leveled. And anyone who's got these two mindsets and these two skill sets has got the basic minimum entry requirements to be a pattern maker. Now, let's shift very quickly and look at just examples of pattern makers. And I'm going to look at industries. You already know all this. Just the introduction of electricity. Electricity in itself, that was a big pattern changer. Global disruption and everything. Acceleration, that's huge, okay? Look at taxis, the transport industry, Uber, and now there's Lyft, there's Bolt, there's all this. Look at that. It has changed the way we eat. It has changed the way we move from one place to the other. It has changed the way transportation has been done. That's huge. And that is as a result of a pattern maker. Look at Google. Information, access to it, archiving it. What did that do to Yahoo? What did that do to the world? Again, a pattern that was born outside of a garage. Okay? Look at Facebook. Social networks and connecting and communicating with people. There's a lot of evil going down that road, but there's a lot of good also happening there. For businesses, opportunities for them to sell. Now all of a sudden nobody needs to have a brick and mortar. All you just need is clicks. The shift from bricks to clicks. Big, because of Facebook. It's not the only one, but it was really right up there. It's probably the tallest, tree in that forest of social tools and all that kind of stuff. 3 billion people a day. That's like just a half of the world inside there daily. That's a pattern maker. 3D printing. Oh, should I talk about that? The printing of prosthetic arms. The printing of, body parts. The printing of, listening devices, hearing devices for children. My goodness. The impact that 3D is going to have over the next couple of years is that it will decimate industries. Now, you don't even have to buy a shirt anymore. You just need to buy a 3D printer and it's going to print your shirt. It's going to print your pants. It's going to print your earrings. It's going to print whatever you want. It's going to print it. That's 3D printing. And so these are just a few examples of pattern makers that have shifted the world, that have impacted the world. And so the opportunity is there. The opportunity is there. A lot of the technology that you need already exists. So what should you do? If it's an open marketplace, what should you do? Let me share with you 2 mindsets and 2 habits, and then I'm going to be out of your way. Let's start with mindsets. The one thing that I have seen about pattern makers is their heightened level of awareness. And what are they aware of? They are aware of their pattern, of their purpose, and of their potential. They are aware of those 3 things. In other words, they know who they are, the pattern. I know who I am. I know how I'm gifted. I know my assets. I know my abilities. I know my strengths. I know my limitations. I know who I am. I know my energy levels. I know what time in my day my energy is highest. I know when my energy is low. I know my highs. I know my lows. I know my productivity moments. I know when I'm not. I know when my creative is happening. I know when there's a portal open between God and me to receive insights. They know their pattern. They know their pattern. In other words, they are a student of themselves. They know themselves very well. They know their pattern. And that is self-awareness. That is self-awareness. They know what their internal drivers and motivators are. They know what their triggers, emotional triggers are. Like if you want to really touch my buttons, do that and you're going to get to me. They understand that. And what that does is that it positions them to be the kind of person who puts themselves in a place of acceleration, puts themselves in a place of flow and harmony in everything that they do. They design their times and hours when they're most productive, and they go in and they do what it is that they do. They are aware of their pattern, their giftedness, their uniqueness. They mastered it. They know the value they bring into a market. How about you? Do you know your value? Do you know your strengths? Do you know what you bring to the market? Do you know your highs? Do you know your lows? Are you able to understand your energy rhythm and play into that rhythm? Do you understand that? This is the thing that we see about pattern makers. They have a high level of self-awareness. And again, if you're just joining us, we're talking about being a pattern maker, becoming a pattern maker. The opportunity is there. And the first mindset is awareness of self. It's a space of mind that, hey, I'm clear. I'm tuned into who I am. The second one is they're tuned into your purpose. The purpose of why am I here? Why do I exist? I was created. I was brought into this world for something specific. I'm not here to pay bills and pay loans and buy houses and then die. I'm here for the very unique purpose. And they have connected their purpose to their pattern. They know I am gifted this way because this is what is expected of me. I've heard this before and I shared this before, that function precedes design. The way they were created was telling and informing of what they were supposed to do, the work that they were supposed to do, the value they bring, the solution they create into the world. And so that purpose is clear for them. And lastly, their potential. Their potential. Pattern and purpose tells us of what could be. The potential that is unlimited because of the awareness of one's pattern and purpose. And everywhere in the space that they're in, they're like, it's unlimited. What I could do is unlimited. I could do anything. I could do anything with the pattern and the purpose that is upon my life. The only limitation, they are aware that the only limitation is the one that I place upon myself. And that is fundamental. How aware are you of yourself? Because if you're not aware, you're limiting your power and ability to become a pattern maker. You're limiting yourself because you don't know the industry that you're in, the industry you should be in, and the kind of impact that you could make in that industry. You're not even seeing the gaps and opportunities. You're not there. You're not in that space. You're somewhere doing a job just to pay the bills. And I get it, but I challenge you in today's session, begin to think about reinventing yourself. Do you remember what we did in the last Saturday? In the last Saturday when I was closing, I shared with you a triangle and we drew these 3 lines. And we talked about who do you need to be, okay, in order to do what's required so that you can have what you want. The be, do, have conversation. You could probably start it from this other side and say, what do you want to have? What do you do? What must you do in order for you to have it? And who must you become in order for you to do it? And so pattern makers are really leveraging on, I know who I am, I know why I'm here, and I see what the unlimited possibilities could be. Again, for you just coming on, please hit like, share this. Someone needs to hear this, all right? We're talking about becoming a pattern maker, becoming a pattern maker. As an individual, one of the things that I'm really investing a lot is in understanding my pattern. I took a trip in February to Florida to meet with the greatest coach, the number 1 coach in the world, to sit with him and really hear, how do I master my pattern? I already know a lot. I've been on this self-development journey, self-awareness journey, but I'm at that place where I'm seeking to understand what are my thinking models? What is my thinking model? You know, how do I create results? The results that I have up to this point, what was the model that I used to create? And how do I normally create? Understanding that helps you when you're in the creation zone, when you're trying to create an outcome. You need to know your pattern. What are my mental models of achievement? And how did I learn those? When did I learn them? At what age? What was the experience? That idea of this is how I create results was created. You know, what is my mental model of failure? You know, when I go to create results and I failed, you know, what lessons did I pick from that? Those are huge patterns, man. As a coach, I interact with people who are every day saying, I know what I need to do, but I'm stuck. I know what I need to do, but I'm stuck. I'm just not able to do it. There's a mental pattern, there's a mental model that just needs to be interrogated. And then once they understand the loop, now I got it. Boom. That is key, number 1. Self-awareness. Self-awareness. The continuous learning of one. Not just knowing the skills and abilities and talents and abilities and all that, but really knowing your abilities and how they play in and what patterns and how you got to be that place. Let's talk about the second one. Oh my goodness, I love this. A strong belief in self. Yeah? You know, bulletproof, complete belief in self. What you find in these pattern makers is that they're not, you will not find them wallowing in pity parties for days. You will not find them comparing themselves with others. You will not find them in a place where they're doubting their worth and their value and what they bring to the table. No. There is this awareness. There is this, strong witness that they were created to create. They're here, they have resources within them. They are not broken, they don't need fixing. They just have what it takes. A strong belief in self. Chutzpah. They know I have what it takes to do it. And this is an area, I can tell you, because as a coach, every day I'm meeting clients. And a lot of what is limiting my clients' abilities to go for the big dreams that they have in their life is some sort of low self-esteem, self-image, limiting thinking, pity party, conversation and narrative going on in their head. They ask themselves, who am I? Who am I to do this? They are small. When you look at their image is small. And so they talk about big opportunities as though they are small. I see this every single day. A narrative of smallness, a narrative of self-marginalization, a narrative of a low self-esteem. And if this is an area where you struggle, this is my sweet spot. Send me an email, benjamin@kamoye.com. Because this is the truth. You will never outgrow your self-image. In other words, if your dream is a number 10 and your self-image is a number 4, you will never perform at a number 5, 6, 7, or 8, 9, 10. You will never perform at that level. And so your dream is forever going to be threatened by your low self-esteem, low self-image. And so what we see in pattern makers is they have a strong belief in self. Do they encounter failure? Yes. Do they encounter setbacks? Yes. Challenges? Yes. How they deal with them is very different from somebody who has a self-esteem that is defeatist, that is low, that is weak. Self-pity, that is comparing themselves. Strong belief in self is belief in one's capacity, belief in one's abilities, belief in their resourcefulness, belief in their pattern, in their potential, in their purpose, belief that they can do it. So they keep struggling round and round and round. Failure does not define who they are. It's actually an opportunity to learn and picking the seeds from that. They don't say, I'm stupid, I must be stupid. No, they don't use such kind of statements on themselves. No, it's just like, no, it didn't work. It's not that I can't get this because I'm stupid. No, there is no self-judgment voice. And I've been at that place where I constantly just saw myself as the problem, as the one who needed fixing. I'm not saying that you should not identify opportunities to grow, but when you connect any challenge, your results out there into the world with your lack of resources or a limitation, that is a sign that you have a low self-esteem and low self-image, and that needs to be addressed as a matter of fact, as an emergency, immediately. So thank you again for those of you who are coming on. We're talking about being a pattern maker, and you could watch this, later when we're done, just moving into the 2 habits that we see about pattern makers. We've talked about their mindsets. They are super aware of their giftedness, and they're constantly students of themselves, and they have a strong belief in themselves. Now, 2 habits. What do they do? They are personal learners. My goodness, they are constantly growing. That whole narrative of becoming self-aware is a growth journey. Is understanding me and saying, who am I? How do I perform here? And they're constantly getting coaching. Yesterday evening, I was on a call. My last call for the day actually ended up like 2 hours. Amazing coach. Absolutely love this coach. High impact, amazing, creating waves in the industry. And she always comes to me and says, hey, you know, it doesn't matter if you're the best surgeon in the world. When you need operating, you cannot operate on yourself. And so it doesn't matter whether I'm the best coach. When I need coaching, I can't coach myself. There are places, there are limits. I can't operate on myself at certain levels. I can't do a brain surgery on myself. And so I need to lie down, and all my experience as a surgeon, as a coach, is irrelevant in that moment. This is the surgeon. They're going to operate on me. And so that is an attitude of someone who is aware of their capacity, aware of their resourcefulness, and aware of the fact that there may be obstacles in their way of thinking, and they need those to be illuminated so that they can see, oh, that's the narrative driving this belief, which is driving this behavior, which is blocking me. Good, I got you. I illuminated you. Illuminate and assassinate. That's it. And so pattern makers are personal learners. John Maxwell talks about the law of the mirror in the 15 invaluable laws of growth. And he says, you have to see value in yourself to add value to yourself. You have to see value in yourself to add value to yourself. You have to see value in yourself. You have to see innovations. You have to see, game-changing plans. You have to see them within you. You have to see them. You have to see them locked within you as the contribution that you brought into this world. You have to see them. That is value. I can do this. I can create this. In order for you to add value to yourself, you have to. Mostly, I can tell you that the people who are not adding value to themselves, they're not reading a book, they're not growing themselves, they're not interested, there's a high likelihood they don't even see any value in themselves. Just like me, I'm just here to float through life and then go. But change makers, pattern makers are personal learners. They're investing in their growth. They're investing in their growth. They're putting crazy money behind their growth and development. I remember when I joined the John Maxwell team back in 2014, between my wife and I, we only had $1,000. It was the last amount of money we had in our bank account. And we got to that point and had the conversation and said, this is my path. This is my path. This is my next step. It was not convenient, but God bless my wife for who she is and continues to be. She said, go ahead, make the payment. And over the next couple of years, put in more than $7,000 in that path of growth. And it has reaped great dividends because all that value I added to myself. And that's what Reinvention Saturdays are all about. While it's in 30 minutes, I create opportunities every time for you to reach out and connect with me. My email is benjamin@kamoya.com. I'm here to serve you. How can I help you? Reach out to me. Some of you who are coming on and loving these ideas and you're not ready at that point, before you leave, click like, click share. Be a part of what is happening here. Be a co-creator with me. Be a pattern changer in some way that this information is going to get to someone in some little way. And so those that are pattern makers, those that are going to leverage the opportunity in the world right now, the race that has changed, the playing field that has been leveled, those that are going to leverage it, they have to be personal learners. And it's not little money watching a YouTube video. Yeah, there's value in that, but there's a lot as well in just growing and developing yourself, getting coaches to understand your pattern, your purpose, your potential. What are my limiting beliefs? What are my mental models? What's holding me back? Very lastly, I love this. Pattern makers are persistent. Pattern makers are persistent. Persistence is not determination. Persistence is not determination. All right? Determination is you are really into this idea and you're waking up every morning and you're pursuing it and you're giving all that you have and you're pouring yourself into it, you're really determined. I give that to you. You're really determined. But what do you do when it's not working? When it's not bearing any fruit? When there is no result? There is no result. You look at the results and it's like, what am I doing? Most people quit at that point. Most people are just like, you know what? It's not working. Let me stop this. But the persistent person follows through, especially when it's not working. And it's coming from a very strong awareness of pattern, purpose. Pattern and purpose. If you look at all those people that made an impact in the world, they stuck with an idea, stupid idea, until there was breakthrough. Have you ever heard the story of 3 feet from gold? They just kept digging and digging and digging and digging and digging. And while everybody just put their shovel down and said, no, this is not working. It's not. Let me go and try something else. They kept digging and they kept digging and they kept digging. That's persistence. That is persistence. And many people are not persistent. They quit. They quit at the earliest sign of defeat or failure. They quit. They're like, this is not working. Instead of understanding that they've just found a way that it won't work. In these past months, I have been pushing my message out there and getting people to become aware that they need to add value to themselves. They need to reinvent themselves. It's not because it's working. It's not because 1,000 people are joining my live videos. It's because I believe that this is what I should be doing. And in all strategy and in all direction, I'm willing and welcoming of this idea and I'm going to make it work. And I'm not going to stop. I'm not looking at the live numbers. Yeah. I'm not looking at that. I'm in service of one. I'm in service of the person who's going to come, and I'm in service of them getting just one aha. And that's my persistence narrative. You're going to take me out of this game. I'm here to go with it. And so persistence, really, if you look at this guy, how is he going to pull this? But he has it in his mindset. Yeah, I got this. The belief, yeah, the awareness is there. And he's going to keep pulling and he's going to keep pulling. He's going to keep pulling and he's going to keep understanding, how do I do this? One day you're going to find him with a skateboard. Yeah, with a skateboard. And guess what? This is going to move. But it took persistence to get there. And so these are the patterns. These are the patterns. These are the patterns in terms of the mindset and the skill set that you see in pattern makers. That's what you see in pattern makers. And so I want to thank all of you for joining me here today. My goal today is just to help you see that the opportunity is here for you. You are a pattern maker if you choose to become one. I'm in the daily grind of shifting how leaders are going to be raised in this generation. My mindset is there. I'm aware of my pattern, purpose, and potential. And if you don't know any of those three, who are you? Why are you here? And what is locked up within you? Your pattern, purpose, and potential. Send me an email, benjamin@kamoya.com. Let's start a conversation. If you don't know that, oh my goodness, you're not going to be a pattern maker. And then 2, if you just feel like you're struggling with this, belief in self. We talked about belief in self. That was right here. The second mindset, a strong belief in self. If you doubt yourself, if you crack when you begin to think about the big dreams and ideas that you have, if you hear a voice that tells you you're not worth it, you cannot do this, that is a red flag. You need to deal with that immediately. And then if your habits are not, you don't have a strong growth program, if you don't have a growth plan, you're not a personal learner, you're an occasional learner. Occasional learning is not going to take you anywhere. If you think that buying books is the idea, buying books is called shelf development. But investing in yourself, growing and learning, that's personal development, and it has big returns. Many people have got files and books and programs, and you've watched all those. Yeah, I've watched all these. I've read all these books. Where's the change in your life? What's the impact? Okay. Now, beyond personal learning is persistence. Sticking with an idea, sticking with one idea. It takes the mental faculty of will. Sticking with one idea and running with it, even when it's not working, and shifting and changing, but sticking with it and adjusting and twisting and sticking with it and going with it and going with it until boom, you get the result. And that's what I'm doing here on the Reinvention Saturdays, working with those of you that are saying, I want to grow myself, I want to reinvent myself, I want to be a pattern maker, I want to take advantage of the marketplace. This new race, I'm going to be one of those that really maximize on this. So thank you so much for joining me here today. Just wanted to leave you with this announcement. Reinvention Saturdays is happening every Saturday until God tells me to stop. It's at 9:30 to 10 o'clock. Sometimes it's going to spill over to 10:15 at 9:30 a.m. East African time. Log in at that time. I'm going to be here and we're going to teach. This month of May has got amazing lessons. Look out for those in the coming days. All right. That's all I had for you today, my friends. Thank you so much for being with me. Be well. God bless you. Bye for now. And please don't forget to like, share, okay, and subscribe. Blessings and bye for now.